Hello, class. A very good morning to one and all. I hope that you all are safe and healthy at your home. So, in the last lecture, Madam has discussed National Agricultural Policy 2002. In this, you have seen what do you mean by agriculture policies when it comes to an existence, right? And what are the main aims and what are the implications of National Agricultural Policy 2000. So today we are going to do the implementation of the National Agricultural Policy 2002. Implications are this: we have to see the target, what we have targeted in this policy, the aim. Does it satisfy wholly, partly, or partially, whatever may be? Okay? So we are going to see that implementations. So the first point is increase productivity. Our one of the aim was to increase the productivity, but we have not achieved that much productivity. हम लोग ने इतना productivity increase नहीं किया था. We have low productivity because of many reasons. Because we don't have the proper inputs, we don't have the proper facilities for the proper production, for the proper cultivations, right? So under this we have low productivity, which are much lesser than the other developing countries. And this is because of we have sufficient funds for the services or for the inputs which a farmer actually need for the production process. The second point is the reduction in agricultural population. As we know, as we see our India before 20 to 30 years, right? So most of the people were totally belong to the agriculture sector, right? So वहाँ पे पहले हमारा जो population था, हम लोग बोलते थे 60 to 70% लोग agriculture में dependent है, right? हम लोग agriculture ज़्यादा करते थे, but now this agriculture people are shifting from the rural urban areas, right? From the rural to urban areas, right? So the reduction of the population has been there. Now the 50% of population in agricultures are there. It means from the total population only, I think not only 50%, I can say 40%, because still people are shifting from the agriculture sector to the industrial to the service sector, and now we are only contributing to 15% in GDP. 50% in GDP. And the next point is increase in investment. When they say increase in investment, there has to be huge amount of investment required for the facilities. Investment means we have to invest in the different facilities so that the farmer ultimately can produce the product with a good quality and with a proper transportation, with the proper warehouses, different facilities which they require to sell their product in the market, right? So they need huge capital means they need uh, huge amount of money so that they can do irrigation, electricity, roads, market, warehouses, etc. Okay? In agriculture sector, they have only formed 16.8% of capital formation. Only this much capital formation they have done it only in agriculture sector, where in the other sector it is more than that. Next point is a private investment. We have to invest privately. We have to invest whether in the tube wells, in the human resource development, in the agricultural implements. So we have to ultimately improve the level of productivity. Next is the research and development. It is one of the important sector, or we can say it is one of the important area, because when we do research we find the problems, and once we find the problem we get the solution. Research में क्या होता है? Research में जब मुझे problem मालूम चलते solution automatically मिल जाता है. अगर मुझे problem ही नहीं पता तो मैं solution किस चीज का ढूंढूंगी? तभी फिर development कैसे होगा? So these terms are the very important in each area. So they have insufficient funds quality inputs such as seeds, fertilizers, tool inputs, more resources required. यहाँ पे इनके पास insufficient funds होते हैं, मतलब sometimes they don't have the proper seeds, they don't have proper fertilizers, they don't have proper chemicals, या what we can say another inputs or the resources which they need for the cultivation. If they don't have this much imports with a good quality or with a normal quality, they that will be again a negative impact, so their productivity will be lower. And if I want to increase this, or if I want to do improvement in the seeds or the inputs or the services provided to the farmers, I need more resources for that. First of all, for that, I have to understand what are the problems faced by the farmers. So this is the fifth implications of the research and develop National Agriculture Policy 2000. Sixth one is the extension program. We have to train farmers. We have to educate them regarding what are the different methods of cultivation, how they can use प्रॉपर यूज ऑफ रिसोर्सेस विद द मिनिमम वेस्टेज. हम उन्हें कैसे बता सकते कि कौन कौन से तरीके हैं कल्टीवेशन के जिससे उनकी प्रोडक्टिविटी, उनके प्रोडक्ट की प्रोडक्टिविटी इंप्रूव हो, जिससे अल्टीमेटली उनको ज्यादा इनकम आ सके. ठीक है. So they have to use the resources in the better and the optimum utilization of resources, what we already said. Next implication is the appropriate technology. We don't have to use the technology which are being imported, which we are bringing from the other countries, because that technology we cannot say that it is eco-friendly or not, right? So we have to use the technology which are eco-friendly. See, to be a very reality, we don't have technology with the eco-friendly, but we need that technology which give less wastage, which give less harmful to the environment. So we have to use that kind of technologies. Then the next one is the use of wasteland. In India, 79.5 million hectares land are unutilized. It means what? If we have the 79%, right? If we have the 100% of agriculture land, so still 80%, 79.5, that is 80. We have not used this land for the agriculture purpose. So our land is being wasted because we are not cultivating on that land, so that we can get a good productivity, we can get different types of crops, we can get different types of good quality of goods, vegetables, fruits, etc. Okay, but we have not used proper land for the agriculture. We have more percentage of land which can be used in the agriculture product, yeah, process. The next one, area specified development strategy. In this area specified development strategy, what it says, every area, yeah, every different state have different oil, different soil, different land with different quality of soils they have. So we have to apply different strategy. For example, if I'm going to take north side, so in north side there are few lands which have underwater, राइट, लैंड विच है जो जमीन के अंदर जितना पानी होता है, ठीक है. तो कोई लैंड में पानी ज्यादा होता है, कोई में कम होता है. अगर किसी में है ज्यादा तो दैट लैंड डजंट नीड मच वाटर, बट द लैंड डज नॉट हैव वाटर अंडरग्राउंड, दैट लैंड नीड मोर वाटर. So this we can just, from this we can understand if there is a different area for agriculture, if we have different land for agriculture, we apply different strategies for that, because सब एरिया एक जैसे नहीं है. तो जब सब एरिया एक जैसे नहीं है तो वहां पे हमारी स्ट्रैटेजी भी अलग अलग होगी, बिकॉज अगर हम सब पे एक स्ट्रेटेजी लगाएंगे तो इट विल नॉट वर्क फॉर एवरीथिंग. ठीक है. सो इन दिस वी आर गोइंग टू अप्लाई स्पेसिफिक स्ट्रैटेजी फॉर द डिफरेंट एरियाज फॉर द डेवलपमेंट. Then it is a service cooperative. Service cooperative, this is a cooperative which was innovated by the government to provide services to the marginal and the small farmers for the inputs and technology. First of all, smalls and the marginal farmers are the farmers which cannot even afford sometimes inputs, seeds, your technologies, right? So they cannot afford this much basic things also. So this service cooperatives helps them to provide inputs, to provide seeds for the cultivation, right? Because we every time somewhere or the other we neglect some of the few marginalized groups, right? So these are one of them, that is small and marginal farmers. So they are, so this service cooperatives, especially this part, they are going to provide, they are going to directly help them. And these are that these service cooperatives will only help the marginal and the small farmers for the inputs and the technology for their production or the cultivation. Next, change in attitude. We doesn't see agriculture sector as a commercial purpose. We doesn't see agriculture sector as a profit earning. हमने कभी भी एग्रीकल्चर में कभी भी हम लोगों ने उसको प्रॉफिट मेकिंग या हमने उसे एज अ कमर्शियल कि हमें इससे ज़्यादा प्रॉफिट होगा, हमने कभी सोचा ही नहीं. बिकॉज वो एग्रीकल्चर लैंड हमें खाना देता है, जो चीज़ हमें खाना देती है हम कभी भी उसको इधर पैसों के इसमें नहीं तोलते हैं. वी डजंट सी फ्रॉम द पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू द प्रॉफिट, राइट? सो वी हैव टू चेंज द एटीट्यूड. once our attitude is being changed towards the agriculture sector, right? हम भी गांव जाते हैं, we also go to our native place, हम भी वहां पे जाके एग्रीकल्चर देखते हैं, बट वी नेवर ट्राई टू डू आवरसेल्फ. व्हाई? बिकॉज हम लोग कभी इसमें रहे ही नहीं है. And now people are actually में changing their attitude that there is nothing in the agriculture sector, we have to shift to the other sector. We have to change this attitude and the thinking so that हमारा agriculture sector भी ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा improve हो सके. Next is there is another point, yeah, another we can say implementations of the agriculture corporate national agriculture policy 2000, change in price and all. So I think 11 point is more than enough for your explanation. Now this is the conclusion part of your national agricultural policy 2000. India is the seventh largest exporter of agricultural commodities. Yes, so here your module 2 chapter number 5 has been completed, that is National Agricultural Policy 2002. I hope you are clear with that. आपको समझ में आएगा क्या होगा, क्या है ये. नेक्स्ट हम जाएंगे आज आपका मॉड्यूल नंबर 2 चैप्टर नंबर 6 एग्रीकल्चरल प्राइसिंग. आई हैव अ क्वेश्चन. आई डोंट नो वेदर आप लोग को आए, दिमाग में आना ही चाहिए कि डज प्राइस अफेक्ट द प्रोडक्टिविटी? क्या एग्रीकल्चरल में क्या हम उनको प्रॉपर प्राइस देते हैं फार्मर्स को? तो यहाँ पे ये जो प्राइसिंग है, प्राइसिंग इज अ वेरी 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 इंपॉर्टेंट इन द एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर, बिकॉज दैट डिपेंड अपॉन द, बिकॉज उनका वो प्राइस ही है जो उनको आगे कल्टीवेशन के लिए मोटिवेट करता है. सो अभी हम ये चैप्टर देखेंगे, देखते हैं इसमें क्या है. वी आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट विद द इंट्रोडक्शन. Half of the population depend upon agriculture sector. In India, half of 50% of the population depend upon the agricultural sector. Now, if farmers get the lower price, right? If they get lower price of the productivity of the goods what they have produced, right? So if they get less price, it means they have so now they don't have the money to buy the seeds, right? So that they take a loan. They again take a loan, again they produce it, again they get a lower price for the productivity. तो इसमें क्या होता है? Again they are getting low price. It means what? So people are taking loan. They again take a loan at the higher rate of interest, right? So In between, the farmers are actually forced to suicide because they don't have money to repay the loan. They don't have money for the basic necessity, right? So if they get a low price for the productivity, so this will be the circumstances which they are going to face for the further, right? But if they get a affordable price, or if they get the higher price, not at the higher price, normal price for the productivity, so this situation will not be occur in the future, that is suicide. And still few farmers are still doing it because their productivity, whatever may be the reasons, right? So if they get lower price, so they cannot even afford the basic necessity, the basic foods. So how they are going to pay their loans? Okay, so this is the introduction. Now what are the features of agriculture price in India? So the first one is non-numerative price. What do you mean by non-numerative price? It is a price where farmers are getting less income, where farmers are getting low prices for the production or for the productivity what they are producing for a specific period of time. So here it is very essential for the better income, right? Why they need a better income? They will get better income in terms of incentives like hard work, the hard work which farmers do for the production part, right? For the better inputs for what they produce. If they get that much income, so now they can what they can do is, if they get better income, they can put more quality of inputs, they can get more good quality of technology so that they can improve their productivity, right? But it doesn't happen practically. It's very oftenly get this only, we can say from 10 farmers to this high better income, only 2 to 3 farmers get, rest all are getting very low income for their productivity. Next one, role of supply in the agricultural price. Now this role of supply of agricultural price, when I say demand for vegetables, demand for your agriculture products, right? Whatever maybe seeds, pulses, right? Every time the demand for the product is always inelastic, right? Inelastic. If what they assume is, if you harvest, if a farmer harvest good, if they have a good harvest with more supply, bring less income than the bad harvest. If it means that we have more quantity of goods, right? So we can supply that much, but that brings less income because we have more goods. When people have more goods, so they will buy it's a lesser quantity, right? But if they have the bad harvest with the low quality, with the less number of quantity, we can say, so there they can assume that okay, it's a very less quantity, so we can buy at a very high price. This is the mentality. Next, uncertainty. Uncertainty means there is something which I didn't predict, right? So when there is a seasonal fluctuation in the price, fluctuation in the condition, fluctuation in the uh, scenario, right? So this seasonal fluctuation sometimes discourage the farmers because they are not getting the proper income, or they are not getting a proper amount of money which they have to be received, right? So they have been if they're not getting, so they cannot innovate the new method for the cultivation. They will not be able to take risk, because once they have to take a risk, then only they can be future, if they can if they're going to take a risk for the new production process, so they assume that there will be some इनकम, कुछ तो मतलब इनकम आना चाहिए, अगर मैंने रिस्क लिया तो कुछ तो प्रॉफिट या कुछ तो होना चाहिए. इफ आई एम नॉट गेटिंग दैट मच इनकम, सो दैट विल बी अल्टीमेटली demotivation to the farmers. So there is a very important thing is we have to stable the price of the product so that the farmers get minimum the cost. कम से कम फार्मर अपना कॉस्ट कवर कर सकता है उतना उनको प्राइस होना चाहिए. सो दैट इज अ स्टेबल प्राइसिंग. It means the price should not be below the cost and the price should not be much higher so that only few people can earn that profit, right? So if the stable price is there for the product of the farmers, then they get confidence. So then they can ultimately they are ready to take the risk. They can just find the new methods for the cultivation which give a motivation to them for the more production and production. Then it is a distress sale. Farmers need money after the immediate of the harvest, right? First of all, they don't have the warehouses. They don't have a proper technique how to handle the goods, right? So maybe they have, but they don't have that much space over there, right? So what they do, they immediately sell the goods after the harvest so that they can get the money after it. So they don't wait for the demand of the product, whether it is demanded or not. They will just sell in the lower price also. So this is somewhere the which we can say the farmers are being forced to sell because of they need money urgently. Any of the reasons, they have to pay loan for the basic needs or any of the reasons, right? So this is a distress sales. Then next one is the middleman. Middleman explain that the if there is a more middleman between the farmers and the consumers, the amount will be lesser for the farmers and the amount will be more to the consumers because more middlemen will charge their commissions, right? But our small and marginal farmers only sell the goods to the middleman because they already have, because they need urgently money for whatever the maybe the reasons, right? So they only sell to the middleman. They may don't have about the knowledge that they can sell over there in the market with the open market, right? So they usually sell to the middleman and middleman totally exploit the farmers by giving them at the lower price. दे ऑलवेज वो लोग हमेशा ना फार्मर्स को इतना इनका फायदा उठाते हमेशा कम से कम प्राइस देंगे जिससे सिर्फ उनका खाना पीना चल सके, ठीक है. पेइंग देम लोअर प्राइस, दे आर एक्चुअली पेइंग देम लोअर प्राइस. मोर मिडलमैन, जितने मिडलमैन ग्रुप गैप है, राइट, जितना मिडलमैन फार्मर्स और कंज्यूमर्स के बीच में आएगा उतना जितना ये गैप बढ़ता जाएगा द अमाउंट विल बी लेसर फॉर द farmer and more for the consumer. So we have to reduce this gap so that a farmer can get a proper amount. They can get a suitable amount for the product, right? So these are the features, and this is the second last one, that is incomplete information. Few farmers does not have proper information about the market. Yeah, we can say they have insufficient market information. They don't know about the price at which we can sell in the market, right? Yeah, they don't have ki when we can go and sell that. So if this is an incomplete, means farmer does not have the information when to sell, at what price they have to sell, they have to measure it, the quantity has to be measured, right? So if they don't have the complete information, if they don't have the information about the market, then what they're going to do it, they are going to sell their product at the lower price. वो लोग हमेशा अपना प्राइस लोअर प्राइस पे ही देंगे बिकॉज उनको नॉलेज नहीं है मार्केट में क्या चल रहा है, अभी कौन से प्रोडक्ट का डिमांड है, कौन से प्रोडक्ट का डिमांड नहीं है, बराबर है. अभी फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई कैन गिव अ एग्जाम्पल ऑफ दिस इनकम्प्लीट इंफॉर्मेशन. इफ any of you, if you don't know, now the onion is being stopped for the export. Why? Because in our country people will be suffer with the high, more higher price of onion because we don't have that much supply, right? तो अभी अभी अगर कोई बोलता है अच्छा हायर प्राइस क्यों हुआ है ऑनियन का, अभी नो ना, बिकॉज ये बार इतना अच्छा प्रोडक्शन हुआ नहीं ड्यू टू क्लाइमेट्स, due to this coronavirus, right? So there are many factors which affecting the agriculture sectors, right? And आपने अभी न्यूज में भी देखा रहेगा कि वो टीडी करके जो था, that insect which actually damage all the agricultural land, their cultivation, everything, राइट? सो अगर ये इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है तो फार्मर कहाँ जाएगा सेल करने के लिए? उसको जो पता ही नहीं है कि भाई कितने रेट पे क्या बेचना है, he won't be able to sell his product with the suitable amount. Now the farmer are being exploiting. So यहाँ पे हम फार्मर्स को बहुत जल्दी उल्लू बना सकते हैं, ठीक है? So the next one over here is poor infrastructure. Agriculture sector don't have the facilities for the organized market. Yeah, when we can say formal market, where they are going to display that wheat price is rupees 32, yeah, whatever may be the price, right? They don't have the proper information to provide to the farmers, right? They don't have the proper कि market में अभी क्या चल रहा है, market में कौन से product का कितना demanded है, right? What is the rate of the different products in the market, right? So ये किसी को मिलता नहीं है जल्दी. They don't have the proper communication with whom I can communicate, I can get the information, or what are the new technologies, right? Then they have the very bad facilities of road. In few villages you will find that there will be no road, राइट? कच्चा रास्ता जो हम बोलते हैं, तो कच्चे रास्ते में अगर हम अपना प्रोडक्शन या अगर हम अपने ट्रक से भी लेके आते हैं या हम लोग ट्रैक्टर से भी लेके आते हैं तो वो गिरता ही रहेगा. तो हमारा तो मोस्टली हमारा प्रोडक्टिविटी तो ऐसे ही डिस्ट्रॉय हो रहा है, राइट? ओनली बिकॉज ऑफ देर इज नो रोड अवेलेबिलिटी ओवर देयर. सो दिस पुअर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर अगेन आपका जो मार्केटिंग का जो टेक्निक है वो आपको और कम कर देता है, राइट? एंड द लास्ट वन ओवर हियर इज, यहाँ पे आपका फीचर्स खत्म हुआ. फीचर्स ऑफ agricultural price in India has been completed. Now there is a, in agriculture pricing policy there is a two set of price, right? First of all is procurement price. Procurement price is the price where government purchase the goods from the farmers, right? तो दैट इज नोन एज प्रोक्योरमेंट प्राइस. ये आपका प्रोक्योरमेंट प्राइस होता है जहां पे गवर्नमेंट परचेज करता है, किससे? फार्मर से. दैट यू आर गोइंग टू सेल टू ओनली टू द गवर्नमेंट, राइट? एंड द इशू प्राइस आर द प्राइस वेयर गवर्नमेंट सेल दैट प्रोडक्ट विच दे परचेज फ्रॉम फार्मर्स टू द कंज्यूमर्स, राइट? अंडरस्टूड? ये आपको समझ में आया? प्रोक्योरमेंट प्राइस और इशू प्राइस क्या होते हैं? दोनों में गवर्नमेंट है, बट प्रोक्योरमेंट में गवर्नमेंट फार्मर से परचेज कर रही है और इशू प्राइस में गवर्नमेंट कस्टमर्स को दे रही है, बेच रही है वही प्रोडक्ट जो फार्मर से लिया था, राइट? सो आई होप यू आर क्लियर विद द फीचर्स ऑफ योर agricultural price in India. So these are the features. आपके कुछ 8 फीचर्स हैं इसमें, 7 to 8 है. एंड दिस इज अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इट मे कम इन द ऑब्जेक्टिव टाइप या आपको ऐसे नॉर्मली भी पूछा भी जा सकता है. व्हाट आर द 2 प्राइजेस एम फॉर द एग्रीकल्चर प्राइसिंग पॉलिसी? नेक्स्ट, why there is a need for agriculture pricing policy? सबसे पहले if they don't get proper pricing, अगर farmer को proper pricing नहीं मिलेगा, then first of all they won't be able to fulfill their basic needs. Then the loan they have taken for the cultivation, they cannot repay that loan to the landholder, the person from whom they have taken the loan, money lenders or their friends, family members, right? So these two condition, if this is the main reason, so people, if the people don't get the proper pricing, they can take again they can take a loan, again they can take a loan. ठीक है, वो लोग बार बार लोन ले सकते हैं, बट कब तक लोन लेंगे? कभी तो प्राइस अच्छा मिलना चाहिए, कभी तो हमारी प्रोडक्टिविटी का प्राइस एक ऐसा होना चाहिए जिसमें कॉस्ट मेरा कवर हो सके. बिकॉज जब भी मैं प्रोडक्शन करती हूँ तो उसमें भी मेरा प्राइस जाता है, मेरा खर्चा लगता है. सो इससे क्या है, इफ दे गेट अ प्रॉपर प्राइसिंग, So what government have did it, government have decided that through this policy we are going to take a minimum rate, right? Minimum rate means from this rate इसके नीचे कोई भी अपना प्रोडक्ट सेल नहीं करेगा, और एक हायर प्राइस दिया है कि इसके ऊपर नो वन इज गोइंग टू सेल देयर प्रोडक्ट आफ्टर दैट price. That is the maximum level, right? So the first need is to provide remunerative price. See, they need a remunerative price, that price which cover the cost, and you can also earn little profit from that. ठीक है, ultimately it improves the standard of living of the farmers because they have some kind of income, right? Their basic necessities been covered. They can repay the loan, and ultimately through this their standard of living will be improved. Next need is to provide incentives to the farmers. We have to provide incentives to the farmers, like we have to give them proper seeds, we have to give them proper training how to cultivate, or what are the different methods to cultivate, right? Yeah, how to put pesticides, pesticides, or the chemical which does not harm to their production, right? So ये सब हमें देखना है, which again improve their agricultural, right? अच्छा, we don't have to explain this point, these are the points, you can directly write it. Okay students. Third one, to promote capital formation through savings. So now we have to force farmers, or we have to make a thinking, हमें उनके दिमाग में ऐसी thinking लानी है, आप जितना सेव करोगे बाद में आप उतना ही इन्वेस्टमेंट कर सकते हो अपने एग्रीकल्चरल लैंड के ऊपर. You can purchase new equipments, you can work on the irrigation part, you can support different services like आपके seeds के ऊपर, right? आपके पानी के ऊपर, ट्यूबवेल के ऊपर, your transportation facilities. So they have to capital form through their saving only, because their much saving will ultimately benefit in the agriculture land in this money terms, right? नेक्स्ट है आपका यहाँ पे टू हैव बेटर टर्म्स ऑफ ट्रेड बिटवीन एग्रीकल्चरल एंड नॉन एग्रीकल्चरल सेक्टर. यहाँ पे आपका जो एग्रीकल्चरल एंड नॉन एग्रीकल्चरल सेक्टर है उसमें प्रॉपरली टर्म्स ऑफ ट्रेड आपका होना चाहिए. दे शुड गेट अ बेटर प्राइस, दे कैन हेल्प द फार्मर्स एंजॉइंग more income so that they can earn more and more income, so that their standard of living will improve and they can improve their trades, right? Next, to reduce income inequality. Income inequality is one of the important, we can say it is one of the problem in India, not in India, in everywhere, which the gap has been increasing day by days. हमें इनकम इनइक्वालिटी कम करना है, बट ऐसा लग रहा है कि द इनकम इनइक्वालिटी गैप हैज बीन इंक्रीजिंग डे बाय डेज. ठीक है, सो वी हैव टू रिड्यूस द इनकम इनइक्वालिटी बिटवीन प्राइमरी एंड नॉन प्राइमरी सेक्टर्स. ठीक है, हमको इन दोनों के बीच में जो इनकम इनइक्वालिटी है वो रिड्यूस करना है. वो कैसे रिड्यूस करेंगे? व्हेन वी आर गोइंग टू स्टेबल द प्राइस फॉर द प्रोडक्ट्स. So somewhere or the other, we can try to reduce the inequality of income between the sectors, right? See, in primary, we usually 10, 15, 20, max to max that much amount, right? But when we go for the service sector, right, the charges are very high. We doesn't see the difference. We say, अरे ये तो agriculture है ना. See, our attitude, our thinking, the way we are thinking. एग्रीकल्चर है ना, अपने तो है, खाने पीने का है, तो उसमें क्यों ज्यादा प्राइस? बट सर्विसेज, यू आर वॉट एवर मे बी द सर्विसेज इन द बैंकिंग, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, राइट, हियर यू आर रेडी टू पे मोर, बट नॉट इन द एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर. सो हमें ये जो वी हैव टू स्टेबल अ प्राइस फॉर whether it's a agriculture sector, whether it's a industry sector, whether it's a tertiary sector, right? So we have to stable the price so that we can reduce the income inequality, right? to prevent inbuilt fluctuations in the agriculture price due to seasonal nature of agriculture, low price, low elasticity of demand, biological nature of agriculture products. Okay, see, we in agricultural sector, the price has been fluctuating. Why every time there is a fluctuation in the price? There are many reasons. One of the reason is the climate. Agriculture sector depend upon the climate, right? If it's a rainy season, we are going to cultivate rice. But if we don't have a proper rain in the rainy season, then that cultivation of rice will not be successful, or that will not that much quality, because राइस के लिए ज़्यादा पानी लगता है, और बारिश है तो बारिश में पानी रहता है, बट अगर बारिश ही नहीं हुई तो राइस कैसे होगा, right? So every time there is something or the other. Now also you can see in few areas where people are still struggling with the price. Still people are feeling कि यार अभी हम क्यों agriculture sector करें. They are not ready to pay a single amount, or with a very very low price which we cannot survive also. So इनको ये prevent करना ज़्यादा fluctuation in the agricultural pricing, जो भी reason से हुआ है, any of the reasons, whatever may be the reasons, but they have to just see that the agricultural price of a product should be more not constant but not much flexible, right? Now they have to encourage rational utilization of land and other inputs through an appropriate price policy for the agricultural product. Now they have to use a utilized land, right? In between, I think you are aware about the testing of land, right? Testing of land define that how much soil is there in the land, right? So what quality of inputs you can put it on them so that it give you maximum productivity. So we have to see the land ki how much it has been used, or it whether it will be used or not, whatever the situation it is. So we have to rationally, matlab as per the land we have to put the inputs, right? So we have to encourage that part also, so that we can get an price, proper price for the agricultural products. Now this price policy implementation I'm going to do in the next lecture, right? I hope you all peoples get a idea of what do you mean by agricultural pricing. किसी को भी doubt हो तो please let me know in the comment section. And be safe and be healthy at your home.